Hello, hello there, everybody. How are you guys doing today? So, kind of weird there. Usually I like to do that at around 5 minutes in, right? Normally I switch the camera here, I say hello, everybody, etc., right? Usually pretty good, okay? This time I go do it, I literally get my mic in position. Yeah, I get it into position. All of a sudden, for some reason, I guess it loosened up on where I have it, right? Because it just kind of came right off. And yeah, I was like, oh shit, did I break it? No, I didn't. It just got loose. I just tightened it. But man, that took me one extra minute to sort it out. So sorry about that. Sorry about that extra minute. So today, Suzerain. More Suzerain. I'm excited. Honestly, as much fun as I've had with Ratchet, I have kind of been missing Suzerain, right? Suzerain is really, really fun. And like I said, the last stream I played it, I know it's not a game for everybody. I know that. Oh, game is loud. Game is really loud. Hold on. Yeah, it's not a game for everybody, but it's a game that I do personally enjoy, and I'm sure lots of other people would too. But I do acknowledge that this market is probably fairly niche. Okay, that should be good. I love the music in Suzerain, by the way. I absolutely love the music. Especially this main menu theme. Look, just listen to it, right? Yeah, I don't know. I just really, really like it. So yeah, Suzerain, let's continue. So when we last left off, from what I remember, we were building a highway out to one of our provinces. I believe we kind of did the thing where we kind of let it. Okay, so here, I'll show you. So I'm building a highway here between these areas, right? Because this province is kind of a piece of shit and needs a bit of an infrastructure boost. Instead of building a railway network down along here, which would probably help boost my economy a lot. Now, I know we need to fix the economy. The economy is the #1 thing we need to change. And if I remember correctly, also at the end of the last stream, we attended a party for the party, or because of our election, I guess. And we almost got assassinated. They didn't get close to us, but they did kill. If I can find the party leader, they did kill. Well, actually, he might have changed now, because they killed the leader of the Communist Party. Yes. Well, this isn't him, but I'm pretty sure like they killed the communist leader, from what I recall. I don't remember his name. Oh, actually, I could probably if I go here and then go here to the factions. The old guard. Yes, funnily enough, I guess he's just not really there anymore. They were very small. They didn't really matter too much, but he died, and that's a little bit sad, right? And if I remember correctly as well, we were trying to form a bit of a coalition with the Reformists, because we, although being a part of a different party, we kind of have similar ideals for what we want to do with the government. So that's basically where we are. Now, I do have notes, but I don't remember. Oh, wait, the journal. Yeah, so this is just a small summary, I guess, of everything that we've done. Now, I do have notes. Where are they? Here. So yeah, I put my notes up here just so we could remember at the end of the last stream, right? Free market, good. So we want to have the free market be good. Increase funding towards England, which... okay, well, no, I did that by mistake. which we did because that's where we're building the highway. Sarna, good for investment, which I believe is this place. No, it's Lockhaven. Oh, Sarna. Sarna is here. Yeah, because it has draw many trader. Excuse me, draws many traders. So possibly really, really good, right? Yeah, and Yosef, ally, Kruger, enemy. Who's that in relation to again? Say, I gotta give myself a brief summary as well. Oh boy, these are current situations. These are my active policies as well. You know, the stuff I should actually look at. Yes, yeah, because Kruger is shit. Who is Kruger? Okay, hold on. Let's do a bit of a codex search. Oh, it's military stuff. That's right. That's right. They're military leaders. Yosef seems like he kind of goes along with our current ideals, so that's good. So let's have a look at our current laws. So the BFP is banned. Tarkin Sol, yes, the British Freedom Party. Yeah, so they're an illegal party at the moment. Reform Committee. Yeah, it's because we did that, I believe. We can currently veto bills, but we're going in the process of making it so we can't veto bills. President impeachable. Yeah, so we can be impeached, which is fair. This one might actually matter more for me because I don't want to be impeached. President may be impeached by the Supreme Court in a joint session with an absolute majority of its members. Okay, well, that's not terrible, I guess. We appoint the ministers, election threshold of 10%. So this is something I believe we put in, which is how we kicked out the communists and I think the Nationalist Party. I think we did something with that. Issue decrees on political, social, and economic issues that will carry the force of law. However, they could not contradict the Constitution, excuse me, and are subject to judicial review. So you can make decrees, unlimited terms. So we can be elected an unlimited number of times. That's something we'll probably end up changing. I think that's part of one of our ideas. Case they're immune, justices, honorary membership gives immunity. Yeah, okay, so we can grant immunity. Require assembly in Supreme Court. Accrual funding reform. This is something we did too. Now, what are the current situations? Court backlog. Putting strain on the legal system, causing delays. So we need to do something with the courts. Now, I understand. Now, to be fair, this is something I did do a little bit accidentally. I didn't really understand what it meant, which makes me a good leader, right? Good president I am. But I think what we did is fair anyway. Because yeah, I want to get rid. See, this is the thing, right? It should have let me choose this as an option. Because they want to make it so I cannot veto bills as the president. So, as a show of faith, I chose not to veto this bill, but it passed, right? It passed by, like, it passed through the assembly. So it's like, well, you know, limited women's rights, you know, we got to fix that as well. Which some I think we're working towards. The Blutish problem. Blutish people don't get the same treatment as swords. We want to change that because I think our wife is like half Blutish or something anyway, so. Supreme Court and the Ministry of Justice are in a political, legal, and constitutional rivalry about who has the higher legal authority. Should probably be the Supreme Court, so we'll probably try to do that, but we'll see. Some human rights are respected, albeit violations still exist due to the extensive law enforcement powers. We gotta fix human rights issues. Suzerain mostly enjoys a free right of communication and expression through the media. Well, I think that's something we're gonna need to be in conflict with for the next little bit, because I know we're in talks with that one guy about the media, and I kind of have a feeling that although it doesn't sound explicitly terrible, we're probably gonna need to not accept whatever deal he has, just because he's a very shady boy. He's a very shady boy. So the news. Rain welcomes Richter's words. President Rain gave signals about a cooperation with Franz Richter of the PFJP ahead of the inaugural ball. Regarding the remarks of Richter about a possible cooperation to fix the current problems of Swedish political institutions, I welcome it. This is a challenge for us all, said President Rain. Richter has long been vocal about his democratization plans, but maybe his demands for constitutional change might finally become a reality if President Rain leads a bill together with Richter's PFJP. Yeah, so this is all stuff we talked to that one reporter lady about, too. Rain says bill is necessary for democracy. One of President Rain's first acts in office was to sign a campaign finance law allocating public election funds by number of assembly seats, as opposed to the percentage of votes won in the general election. In an interview ahead of his inaugural ball, Rain claimed that this decision, which would effectively double the election's budget for his own party, was necessary in order for the USP to truly bring democracy to Swordland. Yeah, MP shot, nation in shock. Swordland has been shocked by grave news today as an elected member of parliament has been shot dead in a suspected political assassination. Police sirens were heard around the clock today as the whole sword police force increased security measures around the capital. The fact that such a violent act happened at the heart of the capital during the new president's inauguration celebrations has worried many citizens. The Red Youth is reported to have promised revenge. This seems like it has potential to be a spark that would swirl Swordland into the political violence of the 1920s. Gonna turn down the volume just a little bit more because it's a bit too loud in my ears. And I don't think there's a voice acting or anything anyway, so I don't think it matters too much. Okay, we'll turn it just a little bit more. Only want to turn down a smidge. That's probably good. Okay. Yeah, so we're in kind of a tumultuous time. Is that the word? Is that the right word? Tumultuous? Yes. We can close this. I think everything else is fine. Just need to go here and have some talks. So we'll read the report. So increased security, that makes sense after political assassination. Security measures of the capital, or at the capital, have been heightened after the murder of Bernard Circus. The mayor of Holsword reports that everything is under control. Security around the Maroon Palace has been increased with the combined efforts of the Holsword Police Department and the Presidential Guard. Additionally, the entrance procedures to the palace are being revised with advice from security professionals. The police chief, Carl Gracer, reported that an investigation has been launched on the murder of Bernard Circus. Yeah, we gotta do the emergency meeting, right? The mood in the Situation Room was gloomy. My cabinet members were gathered to discuss the shooting outside the palace. Lilius presented the initial report. Bernard Circus was shot dead at 9:03 p.m. in front of the palace gates. He was an elected independent member of assembly, and as you know, a famous communist. She spat the last word out with some distaste. The guards at the scene were 50 meters away and immediately took action by responding and killing the assailant, who was identified as a member of the nationalist organization, Young Swords. So the Young Swords, I believe, is, I don't know if you'll let me say the word, but I assume they're like the supremely bad, probably fascist type, right? If I had to guess. Youth organization has close ties to the National Front Party and has been described as NFP's militant wing. Members deny its political nature and claim it only to be a cultural and education foundation. Yeah, so they're not good either. But this is very typical, right? Like, communists and nationalists have kind of been at each other's throats in real life since the dawn of both their inceptions, as far as I'm aware, right? The president and his family were unharmed. Praise God. So I'm leaning towards option 1, right? I'm very, very leaning towards option 1. It's like number 2 seems good too. Like, why Bernard Circus? Because he's a communist, right? Like that, that's really all it comes down to. I'm pretty sure it's probably because he was a communist and the other guy was a nationalist, right? And I clearly wasn't the target. So an MP shot near the palace, that is absolutely unacceptable. Which is true, it is. I agree. We are reevaluating our security measures. However, the recession has affected my ministry negatively. This sets a dangerous atmosphere where the left versus right political violence of 1920s might spark once again. Yes. A return to those days would be devastating. The coups are the reason why our country stagnated for a decade. Nia Morgna, Minister of Justice, sighed. So we don't know much about her yet. Nia Morgna is a politician and attorney from the Sordish region of Bergia, who serves as the Minister of Justice and Law. She became a member of the United Sortland Party in 1949 and served as the Vice Minister of Justice during the Alfonso administration. Before her political career, she worked as an attorney in Dare and also taught law in Dare, University of Culture. Okay, it might be. Although she came from a wealthy family, they lost their assets in their nationalized plan of the 1930s, so she's probably gonna like our free market stance. Oh, toast. Suggested a poll. Should I waste my channel points? Yes or no? You know, we'll go ahead and we'll throw a poll up. I don't think there are many people here at the moment, but we'll throw a poll up anyway. We're gonna do a quick poll. Now I'm assuming this is for you, Toast, not for me, because I can't waste my channel points, unfortunately. That did not copy correctly. Hold up. By the way, hey there, Toast. Welcome back to the stream, friendo. How might you be doing today? Hopefully you're doing excellently. Should Toast waste his... Can't type. Channel points, there you go. Yes or no. Duration, we'll have it be like... No, 5 minutes in case anybody else comes around, I guess. In case more people come around, I should say. We'll have it be like... we'll have it be like... we'll have it be a 5-minute poll. Why not, right? It's for funds. It's for funds. I can't vote. I forgot I can't vote in my polls. Damn. Here I was hoping. Yeah, wait a minute. How are you supposed to keep the Fraggin economy in check when you have literal infinite money? I know, right? I'm printing too much coin. I'm sorry. I'm the worst. See, Toast, you saw through my great plan, my great scheme, right? Keep the economy in check so I can hoard all the wealth, you know? In my secret underground Swiss Fraglandian fund. But yeah, hopefully you're doing good today, friendo. I assume you're at work. Is it Nia or Naya? I guess it could be either. We'll say Nia. We'll continue saying Nia. Nia was a strong critic of Tarkin Sol's programs and vocal about her opposition to the Supreme Court's authority on state matters. Due to her expertise on Sordish law, she's appointed by I can't talk at all now. Ewald Alfonso as the Vice Minister of Law in 1949, so now I can hopefully talk again. During her role as Vice Minister, Nia is credited to the de facto running of the Ministry of Justice under heavy pressure from the socialist elements in the administration. She earned her reputation from her fight against corruption in the ministry among protests from the Supreme Court. She is regarded as one of the most experienced attorneys who worked for the government. She eventually gave her support to Anton Rain and was appointed as the Minister of Justice and Law in 1953. Yeah, I'm chilling, and yes, I'm indeed at work. Am I working? That is another question, right? You know, I do like you a lot, Toast. I do like you a lot. Because, like, you know, at work, but am I really working? You know, it's up in the air, right? Hopefully it's been a chill day at work at the very least. If that's the case. The Red Youth has condemned the killing, but didn't stop there. They promised revenge. This will in turn spark further aggression from the young swords. The whole cycle started because Bernard Circus is... I'm gonna take a drink of water. I'm gonna take a sippy because I feel like maybe that'll help me talk better. Yeah, that's, you know what, that's actually the word I was thinking about. Working hard or hardly working, but I couldn't remember how it went. Actually not super. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. We've been dealing with a major outage since like yesterday afternoon, but it's kind of out of my hands at the moment. That really sucks. That really, really sucks. But, I mean, I guess nothing you can do about it anyway, right? So, best just to keep doing what you're doing and hope the outage fixes itself, right? So that kind of sucks, right? I never really liked situations like that, where it's like, well, it's shitty, but I can't really do anything about it. I just kind of gotta wait for stuff to like fix itself, right? That always sucks. Okay, so we're gonna try this again, right? This will in turn spark further aggression from the young swords. The whole cycle started because Bernard Circus expressed his views. We can't simply look away. That's all you can hope for, exactly, right? See, I do like how my party isn't even really involved in what's going on here either, but something's gonna happen, and it's not gonna end well. Naya had always been one of the only members of the Justice Ministry truly deserving of the name. She had survived countless attacks on her character while fighting corruption within the ministry, and rising to power had only compounded her sense of moral duty. Freedom of expression is part of our constitution. We can't have anyone, let alone an MP, shot for voicing different opinions. Let's see, Toast says, I report on and manage teams conducting restorations. Oh, very nice. But I don't actually touch any systems. Fair, fair. Right now we're just waiting to hear from a vendor for everything that's busted. Okay, Pharaoh, hopefully that vendor gets back to you soon. Sounds like a pretty nice job, though. Work on restorations. Always sounds good. See, okay, so see, here we go. Now I'm probably gonna pick number one. It's got to protect freedom of speech. But see, they make like a good point here, right? That the Red Youth poses a threat to our country too. We should be cautious because, you know, communism, right? We've seen in the real world what communism can do. I'm not, okay, hold on. That's gonna make me sound really anti-communist, right? So I don't think like communism as it stands is really a good system. I will go ahead and say that. I'm not like, oh, death to commies. I'm not that kind of person. But, you know, as history has shown, when you get communists in a country like this, if they start to like cause a bit of like violence, usually things go pretty awry, right? Especially when you also have nationalists in here too. Like there could be a civil war in Swordland if both of these parties get pissed off, right? Like that's kind of the thing. We could have a civil war that my party isn't even a part of, you know? But anyway, but also nationalists are also kind of dangerous too, right? That's kind of the weird thing with the situations, that both these parties are probably equally as bad as the other. But I do fully agree we should protect freedom of speech. Our laws do, and for good reason. Silencing voices only results in fear and stagnation inside society. We had that before, and we know very well how it was. I hear your concerns. Our police do their best to uphold the rights of our citizens. We will prevent such an act from happening again by making sure our security measures are reevaluated. Why am I having so much trouble talking today? It's always these dialogue-heavy games, too, is when I start, like, flubbing, you know? Minister of Defense. Oh, this is the guy that is probably our best friend. Well, gonna be our best friend in terms of military stuff. Minister of Defense Joseph Lancia granted an approval. He towered over the rest of us in full military uniform, his many war medals conspicuously on display. Agreed, ma'am. Our Grand Army will also help boost security in the rural areas where possible. There might be more to come. So what is the army like here? An armed... Oh, wait. This is the armed law enforcement organization. Never mind. This isn't the army itself. Which maintains security, safety, and public order in the rural regions of Swordland and executes the duties ascribed to it by other laws. The Grand Army General Command is subordinated to the Ministry of Defense. Okay. The Grand Army Organization, which was established in 1899, has survived until today. After a republic was proclaimed, the Grand Army stations began to serve people in the most remote parts of the country, in addition to carrying out security and public order duties. During Sol's term as president, most people began to identify Grand Army with the state itself. Also, I just saw you wasted your channel points. Good job, and thank you for keeping the economy in check. Even though I do not do it myself, but, you know. You know, what is the Army of Swordland like, actually? I guess I can't check. Maybe it'd be under armed... Swordish Armed Forces. Are the military forces of the Republic of Swordland, with its headquarters in the Whole Sword. SAF consists of the General Staff, the Land Forces, the Naval Forces, and the Air Forces. The current Chief of the General Staff and the Chief of the Armed Forces is General Vulcan Kruger, who probably isn't really going to be on our side. In wartime, the Chief of the General Staff may act as the Commander-in-Chief on behalf of the President. The General Staff also holds the authority to reject the President's candidate for the position of Minister of Defense and may appoint its own candidate when they deem it necessary. Wow, that gives a lot of power to the army. Is that how it is in real life too? I'm not really too sure about this stuff, to be honest. I don't really know that much about the Canadian or the American Armed Forces, so I can't really say how that is. I assume that's not. The Swordish military perceives itself as the guardian of Solism, the official ideology of the Second Republic era of the Republic of Swordland. The Swordish Armed Forces is the 5th largest standing army force in Eastern Rakopa, after the Rembergian Armed Forces. Currently, the military is a conscripted force. Males serve in the army upon reaching the age of 18. Yeah, because that's another thing that was being discussed as well, as we're talking about maybe getting rid of conscription, which I think is the way to go. I don't think conscription is all that good. But we're a pretty big army. I didn't think we'd be that huge. I mean, the 5th... Well, the 5th in Maricopa, I mean, I guess that's not really that big, to be honest. Because, I mean, you could say, look, oh yeah, Mexico has the 3rd largest army in North America. But, I mean, even then, like, you know, that's obviously not all that big, right? And I don't know how big Maricopa is. We should refrain from making the issue a political one from the start. It will only add fuel to the fire. Yes, I agree. I agree. You're right. We need to calm the situation. Our government is capable to maintain security. Our job will be to reduce tensions. Several police cars rushed past the Moon Palace, and everyone went silent. Regardless, a full investigation on all involved parties is underway. We will find the subversives? Yeah, subversives and punish them soon enough, Mr. President. I will do my best to help coordinate the administrative tasks. Justice will be served, and the rule of law will return to this country stronger than ever. Only if we stay vigilant as a country. We must think about the upcoming budget. Hey, Bats Backwards, welcome back to the stream, friendo. How you doing today? How's it going? It's going pretty well, thank you. Having a grand old time with politics, right? As one does. You're doing pretty well. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So the upcoming budget, huh? I don't know, man. I don't know if we can really... I mean, do we need to tighten security? So we know Yosef is like really... Like, he's smart. He's a smart guy, right? Like, we read this all the last time we streamed, but I just want to see, like, what it says. Yes, he is, yeah, so he wants the army to be professional instead of a conscripted force, which is part of why I think he'd probably be the better candidate for us to please. I'm gonna go with... We should not lose sight of our real political goals, like the constitutional reforms. I don't know how I feel about upping the budget. Agreed. These matters shouldn't distract us from what the people want us to do. Lucian took some notes after checking the latest newspapers and reports. It seems that the tensions between the communists and nationalists will escalate further. It will be very difficult to pass any meaningful change if there is chaos in the country. See, now we're getting to stuff where like it's a bit more thunk heavy. I mean, we can pass constitutional reform in such an atmosphere. We can do that, but we also can't really fix the recession if there isn't stability. I believe we will make it through this and deliver our promises. I believe we will. Hell yes, President Rain. This will be it for today then. We'll convene again soon. Thank you all and keep us updated. The meeting concluded and the ministers left the room with concerned looks. It was hard to anticipate what would happen next. Oh boy, alright. Codex entry updated. I wonder why. Murder at the Palace. Yeah, it says about Circus. Breaking news. Bernard Circus, a prominent independent MP known for his communist romanticism, has been murdered leaving the Maroon Palace grounds after the inauguration ball of Anton Rain. Reports indicate a politically motivated assault by the far-right nationalists of the Young Swords. Shocking photographs have been leaked to the press showing blood-dripped stairs of the Maroon Palace. We heavily condemn the sort of political violence. This is the very cycle the president must break with reforms. We will do that. So I guess I can just continue then, if I can hit the button to continue. And there's currently nothing else to look at. A few days later. I'm getting a little bit scared though. This is getting to be a bit starting to get a bit scurry. All right, what do we have in the news? It's all about Bernard Circus, isn't it? I guess it would be. Swordish politicians shot dead. Swordish poet and politician who had spoken out about the idea of dictatorship of the proletariat? I've heard that word before. I don't quite know what it means. Or I don't remember at the very least. Was shot during the evening of Anton Rain's inauguration ball. Bernard Circus, a 53-year-old Swordish member of the Assembly, was shot a number of times by a gunman at the entrance of the Maroon Palace, who was identified to be a member of the Young Swords. Despite his radical views, Mr. Circus was elected to be an independent member of the Assembly in the 1953 elections, and sadly did not manage to live long enough to serve his duty. He was said to have repeatedly received threats from Swordish nationalists, who viewed him as a traitor for promoting Malinivism in Swordland. Television footage showed the famous poet's body lying face down, draped with a white sheet, on the pavement in front of the gates of the Maroon Palace. Lilius Graff, the interior minister, said she had assigned a group of leading ministry officials to lead the hunt for the killers. Once again, dark hands have chosen our country and spilled blood in Wholesword to achieve their dark goals, she told a news conference. We are investigating all aspects of this crime. His funeral will be held tomorrow in his home city, Dare, which is where we're from. The local police have reported to have increased security measures for the ceremony and stand ready for a massive attendance. Unity despite differences. Good, that's what we want to see. Swordland has two paths to the future, and this year is critical to decide which path we embark upon. Amid a recession, the lack of stability and security caused by the death of Bernard Circus is an unacceptable reality. We need more jobs and a safe atmosphere if our country is supposed to grow and prosper. But how will we increase our employment and open new factories if there's blood flowing down the streets? Swordland will never reach its goals as an advanced society if we descend in a downward spiral of splintering of our nation. Peace and prosperity, now and forever. Murder was a method of the past, by the Lockhaven Times. The tensions between the left and right extremists have increased in the country after the assassination of MP Bernard Circus. Protests of Melanivists groups quickly turned into riots around the country. We are calling for peaceful protests and dialogue instead of violence. After the attack that prompted the riots, a member of Young Swords assassinating a member of Assembly clearly shows that they are willing to use extreme actions, said Franz Richter in his speech in the Grand National Assembly. We live within these borders together, and therefore we all bear a responsibility, a duty to live together with our differences. Richter's unifying message is something that we all should listen to in these times of danger, of loss. The murder was a method of the past, and has tainted us, reminded us of who we were before and who we don't want to become in the future, said Richter, and stated that we as the citizens of this nation all bear a responsibility beyond ideologies, partisanship, or any other identity. The Radical, oh boy, my favorite newspaper. Farewell, Bernard Circus. It is a sad moment for Swordland. We have lost a renowned poet who not only wrote about the struggles of the working class, but also acted on them. However, his decision to enter Swordish politics was met with a sick attack that ended his life. This was indeed intended as a message to all opposing voices in Swordland. We, the team here at the Radical, condemn this evil acts of terror of the Young Swords, who we believe must be held accountable as a whole group. It is finally time for the government to realize this organization as a terrorist threat and serve the justice that is due. Bernard Circus is always going to be in our hearts as a great Swordish poet, as a revolutionary, as the leader of the Swordish avant-garde, as a futurist, as a romantic, as a millennialist, but beyond all, as a symbol of freedom of speech. He is now a man who was murdered for speaking his mind. This cannot remain as yet another political murder of the sad reality of Swordland. In fact, it is time to change this. It is time to speak up as people. The most beautiful sea hasn't been crossed yet, said the great poet, reminding us to always have hope. And we must strive to have hope and to make them a reality. It is the best way to honor his memory. Bernard Circus will be laid down in Dare tomorrow. Any citizen who wants to pay respect is invited to attend. And The Economists. The only way out of recession, bailing out businesses. Maybe. Swordland's economy has been displaying a downward trend over the past 2 years of Alfonso's presidency. If we want to prevent our country from declaring bankruptcy, we need a way out of this recession, and we need it now. The economic downturn keeps hitting hard at the businesses which are struggling to stay afloat. It is clear that a helping hand from the government is required to control the situation. There is no other way apart from bailing out businesses to truly provide relief to the economy. This in turn should revitalize the economy by creating more employment opportunities and increasing production in Swordland. All right. Well, we have a lot to think about. We have stuff from Agnolia. Yeah, Agnolia. We have a lot of places that we have reports from. Some of these places must be given condolences to the murder of the MP. Nope, never mind. Horton critiques trade. The leader of Agnolia has diplomatically critiqued the imbalance of trade between our countries. Concerns were raised over how much more Swordland profits from net trade in comparison to Agnolia. Prime Minister Martin Van Horten requests a fair reevaluation of existing treaties and future negotiations. I mean, we'll do that. We don't want to piss them off. We kind of want a united front against these peeps up here, the Rumburgians. I like how we can see their flag too, actually. This is neat. I like that flag, actually. Black and white. I always like that kind of aesthetic on the flag. You don't see it too often, though. That one's okay. This one's very, like, Spanish-inspired. This one's okay, too. Yeah, you know, I'm kind of surprised. Like, thinking about it, we don't really have that many unique-looking flags in the world, like, in real life. Some we do. But, like, we don't really see any black and white flags, you know? Not since the olden days of Prussia. Should change its name to Magnolia someday. That's honestly what I keep wanting to call it. At least it's not critiquing health standards, so Horton here, so... Honestly, I see the name Van Horten and I can't help but think of Bart's friend's dad. Right? So, Estord. Police overburdened in Estord. We've been receiving reports of a lack of equipment and staff from the police forces in Estord. With the escalating violence in the city, the officers have been working 12-hour shifts to suppress the protests to no avail. Excuse me. The police commissioner of Estord has requested reinforcements and extra supplies of tear gas from nearby cities. That's not too good. Police understaffed, so we need to up the police now, too. Okay. Narville has reported that it is currently too understaffed to deal with the ongoing political violence. Due to the small size of the police force in the city, they've been working non-stop. A number of officers were sent to the hospital as a result of severe fatigue. Minister of the Interior, Lilius Graf, has been working with head of police, Carl Greiser, to address this issue. So let's go ahead and put it in notes that we probably need, like, more police. More police funding as a question mark, because, I mean, maybe. It seems like that might be an issue. Young Swords Youth Wing leader dead after terror attack. Local Young Swords Youth Wing leader in Suzerain? Yeah. Jack Torin has claimed responsibility for the organized attack in the Bludish market that resulted in the death of 7. His base of operations have been raided and he was found dead inside with 2 bullet wounds to the back of the head. The scene was organized to make it look like a suicide. I mean, the back of the head doesn't really make it look like a suicide, to be honest. We're not able to get information about the location of other ringleaders connected to the terrorist attack. Yeah, so now this is... Yeah, okay, so the Young Swords have been causing issues then. Illegal KA-74s seized. A cache found with Rumburg-made weapons included 46 KA-74s, 2,854 bullets, 12 handguns, 27 grenades, and bomb-making equipment was found in the basement of an abandoned house in Suzerain? Yeah. No suspects have been detained yet. The investigation is ongoing to determine the origins of the equipment. So now, okay, so this might just be me talking a little bit, right? But I'm starting to think maybe Rumburg is trying to fuel political discontent, because we already know they want to move south for resources, and we are directly south of them. So we know we're actually like directly south, unless they go here first for Welland, or here. But I feel like we should have like some kind of defensive treaty with these two at the very least. So they're probably trying to fuel political violence so they can come in and try to sweep up, right? Illegal firearms found in Communist Party office. The Rivery Police Department raided the local Communist Party office after alleged attacks organized by one of their members and found illegal firearms in the office. The building has been closed, and 22 members of the Communist Party of Soylent have been detained. Okay, I'm gonna also put another note here. Communists and nationalists. Fuck, how do you spell it? Nationalists. There you go. Bad? I don't know. Well, yeah, clearly they're bad, but maybe I should maybe I should word it in a different way. Nah, we'll just say bad, because we can assume that maybe we should consider getting rid of them. Also more notes. That's how it'd be. Let's see, what's the nation called? Rumberg? Yeah. Rumberg causing unrest. We're just gonna like, oh, that was all caps. All right. Rumberg. Oh wait, fuck. Bad. Rumberg causing unrest in Swordland. How come I can't spell today either? Unrest. There you go. Yeah, it's not a good place to be. Yeah, it's definitely not. We're in a really, really bad place. And they also don't like us very much, and their military is kind of big. Right? So, yeah, not too great, to be honest. Yeah, lots of weapons being seized. Weapons seized in Cultural Center. Local police forces report that a wardrobe full of heavy military equipment has been seized in a Young Swords Cultural Center in Jen. Regulars of the place denied having any knowledge about the weapons. The owner of the building have been detained along with 13 other people. Oh, owners. The owners of the building. The police captured 22 rifles and 2 machine guns. The equipment belonged to the Swordish Armed Forces, dated 1929, but kept in very good condition. Okay. Communist Party leaders suspected of bomb attack. Man, everything's going nuts. At 11:48 a.m., an unattended bag found in front of the NFP office in Volgan was destroyed by the police on suspicions of a bomb threat, which were then verified. Upon further investigation, the Communist Party leader of Volgan, Milt Hanu, has been arrested in connection to the incident. Yeah, you know what? A lot of bad things going on. Okay, well, let's see what this nation's up to. Let's see what Realm's up to. Smolak warns traitors. The latest diplomatic message from the leader of Welland warned us regarding a pathway from the mountains of Bergia that allowed traitors of the state escaping to Swordland. President Victor Smolak has demanded that the border security be increased. He also sent his best wishes about handling the protests in Swordland. Okay, well, at least he's being kind of nice about it. Unlike Agnolia, who's like, yeah, just give us better trade. Don't really care about what's going on in your nation. Now, they say traitors, so like, what is... So, I know we read up on Welland before. Presidential Republic. Bloody Revolution. So, just a civil war, basically. I started looking like a one-party state. Okay. Yeah, so I can understand why refugees might be coming over then. But at least he sent his well wishes, right? That's kind of nice. Dinner with the family at home. Okay. Reports of BFF activity in the capital. The chief of police, Carl Gracer, reports that 2 Bludish women with affiliations to the Bludish Freedom Front have been caught in Holsword before they could execute a terror attack at the crowded rally. Man, everything is going to shit now. Both women are listed as wanted criminals and enemies of the state. The arrested women have admitted their intentions to attack the National Front Party's rally at Seoul Square when Casaro Kibner gave his speech, but rejected any connection to the BFF. Both claimed that they were acting alone. Police reports that the situation is under control and further investigations are underway. So the Bludish Freedom Front is a militant political organization based in the Bludish regions of Swordland and Welland. since the Izam incident in 1933. So what is this? It's a bloody protest that occurred in 1933. It is largely regarded as one of the foundational moments of the Bluish movement. In 1933, the Sol Dam project, which was proposed as a long-term solution to Vergia's and Soylent's energy problem, began its construction. The construction site was home to an old Bluish village called Izam, which was planned to be evacuated and razed to open the way for the dam. It was one of these situations. The arrival of the construction workers to the site led to a series of protests by the local populace. The protesters managed to block the construction and continued their protests for 10 days. On the 7th day, a group of military personnel arrived at the scene as a reaction to the protest's increasing size. On the 10th day of the protest, a village elder named Watani Arshraf was shot by one of the soldiers. That caused the protest to turn violent. Of course it would. According to the Radical, the entire group of protesters were killed that day by the group of soldiers who were ordered by Tarkin Sol himself to make sure the construction was underway. So, can we really trust the Radical to be really all that good? I personally don't think so. I'm not saying people didn't die, but I doubt it was the entire group of protesters. Consequently, Izam was razed and the construction of the dam started soon after. Okay, I mean, I can understand why they're pissed. This event led to a period of protests and riots in the region of Bergia. To suppress the riot, the state reacted by taking drastic measures, which included one of the most controversial of Tarkin Sol's decisions. That resulted in the persecution of thousands of Bluish people, calling the event the Bluish Genocide. A group of Bluish nationalists established a militant resistance movement called the Bluish Freedom Front. So this is basically the IRA of Soylent, I guess. In the aftermath of the incident, the BFF has orchestrated attacks against the Swedish police forces and state buildings in major cities, starting a new period of bloodshed in the region. It was declared as a terrorist organization by the government later in the same year. Every year, the Remembrance Day of Ashraf's death is widely attended by the Bluish people who treat it as part of their identity, while others use it as a symbol of separatist sentiment. Okay, so now we know a bit more about that thing, so I can understand why they'd be pissed. We need more Bluish freedom rights, dude. Toast, redeemed hydrate. Now, let's get all nice and hydrated up, my friendo. Thank you very much, man. That water felt very good. Water felt good going in. And with all the talking we're going to be doing today, I feel like I definitely earned. Okay, well, let's have a nice dinner with the family at home, right? Let's get away from all the political drama and just have dinner with the family. After a long day at the palace, I was finally home. I thanked Serge and walked through the front gates, nodding at the two guards as I went by. Even as I turned the doorknob, I could hear Deanna rushing down the stairs to greet me. I opened the door and there she was, standing in front of me with expectant eyes. Papa, you're home. I feel like if I say my little bright one, then that's making my son seem not bright. But we want to be a good family man, so we'll say there's my beautiful princess. I lifted Deanna up and hugged her while trying to put the keys in the tray next to the entrance. She was growing fast. Lifting her up was no longer as easy as it once was. Well, this didn't seem that great. I feel like we're shaming her a little bit if we say that. That's how school was. How was school? Boring. I liked my old school better. I put her down and her expression turned serious. Papa, are the bad men gone? I don't know. There seem to be a lot of bad men now, to be honest. There seems to be a lot of political unrest in the nation. See, this doesn't really answer her question. So it was only one bad man, Deanna. And yes, he's gone now. Okay, Papa. Deanna dashed down the hallway. Mama, Papa's here. Monica appeared next to the kitchen door. She was wearing an apron and holding a spatula in her hand. Deanna, what did I tell you? No running in the house. Yes, Mama. Monica approached me and kissed me on the cheek. A tantalizing smell wafted from the kitchen behind her. I'm hungry. When's my dinner? Or when's dinner? Man, that seems nah. See, I want to say the top one, but also we've been kind of working all day, so but I mean we're the president, so we probably have people cook for us. So yeah, darling, you shouldn't have. What do we have? What do we have a cook for? Yeah, what do we have a cook for? I guess that also implies that we have a cook too, right? I felt like going grocery shopping, just like old times. And besides, she can't make your favorites like I can. You mean, yes, Zalba or Zabla. Zabla was one of my hometown specialties. A chickpea stew topped with beef braised in tomatoes and Bergian spices. Traditionally served in a clay pot. That sounds pretty fancy. It was absolutely my favorite dish, especially paired with kebij, a potent, unfiltered wine from my region. Where's the kebij? Man, you can really make Anton to be a bit of an asshole, right? It's my lucky day. What's the occasion? No occasion. I just wanted to cheer everyone up a bit. Her smile faded, and she lowered her voice so that Deanna wouldn't hear. Especially after what happened at the ball. I am worried for you, Anton. For the children, and for the country. Deanna suddenly appeared next to us. Mama? Yes, sweetheart? I'm hungry. Typical child, Deanna. We'll eat in just 1 minute. Will you help me set the table? Anton, can you tell Frank to come down for dinner? He's been sulking in his room all day. Monica started taking out the china while I headed upstairs to fetch my son. Loud rock and roll music echoed down the hallway from his room. I caught a faint hint of cigarette smoke. We're gonna respect him, so we're gonna knock on the door. That's one thing I always really appreciated growing up, was that my parents were always very respectful of knocking on my door first. Like, I can think of maybe like one time, because there was a point in my life when I just like kept my door open, right? Like I'd keep my door open and they could just like come in, go, you know, we'd see each other like as I'm sitting doing computer stuff and I'd like wave to them, right? But eventually there came a time when I just really liked having my door closed. I kind of liked having my own kind of space, right? And they did come in occasionally when they were getting used to that, I guess. But it didn't take them long to just kind of like, you know, they're like, yeah, we'll knock on your door because that's respectful, you know? They were never the kind of parents to like just barge into your room. And that's something I always appreciated. There was no response. Knock on the door again. I knocked on the door again. There was still no response. Yeah, banging on the door sounds okay. I banged on the door. The stereo in Frank's room clicked off. All right. He unlocked and opened the door. Oh, I guess I couldn't have opened it anyway if it was locked. What do you want? Turn those records up louder next time, won't you? I don't think the neighbors heard. See, this is just the asshole-ish, no. This is also asshole. Well, it's not really asshole-ish, but like, you know, we don't. I mean, he's making a mistake with cigarettes, but like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'd like be like hand over those cigarettes. I'd probably be like, you know, smoking ain't cool. You shouldn't do that. But I'm not just gonna take him from him because once again, I want to kind of like respect him a little bit. He's clearly getting older because like he's in high school, right? So he's clearly gonna be independent and rebellious regardless of what I do. Food is ready. Well, dinner's ready in this case. Great, I'm starving. Frank headed downstairs to the dining room and I followed after. The table was prepared and Monica was ladling? Yeah, ladling food onto the plates. Come on, have a seat. It won't be as tasty if it's cold. As we started eating, the room went quiet. Monica's cooking was as delicious as ever, but I had the feeling that wasn't the reason nobody spoke. Monica was the first to break the silence. Say, did you know that they refurbished the grocery store? I don't know if you remember the owner. He's been there every day for the past 30 years. Can you imagine doing the same job for so long? What if you were president for 20 years, for example? 20 years of this, I'd be dead. True. See, I feel like she's trying to make like light conversation. So I don't want to do this because I feel like this would just like this would just ruin the mood. 20 years of this, I'd be dead. Oh, damn it. Damn it. It's supposed to be a joke, Monica. I realized, oh wait, oh, I get it. Oh, I get why it's bad now.